Yata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhiswaha Yata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhiswaha Yata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhiswaha. Okay, we're done with step 5. What is step 6? The actual exchange of the self and others. Actual exchange of the self and others. Okay, so this step has nothing really additional thing to do. Here what we do is that we make a very strong commitment that reflecting from step 1 through to step 5, we come to see that the cherishing oneself is the door to all the destructions, door to all the misery, sufferings. Cherishing oneself is the most vicious, the worst of the thing, the actual demon that attracts all the miseries on you. And cherishing others is the door to happiness for you. For you is the door to all the happiness for you. Seeing this, okay, the next point. Seeing this, okay, how many of you loved your mother so much when you were day one old? Day one old, you love your mother so much?
I guess.
Which means you have no experience.
I don't remember it.
Imagine, you go to the hospital. What do you call it, the gynecology department. You go there and the children were given birth, right? Say, take the child from the mother and then hand it to the nurse and give it to the mother. Was the reaction, difference in reaction of the child? No difference.
No.
Because the child cannot identify the mother. You getting it? So the child doesn't have a special love towards the mother. Day one, you were old. Okay. Then after sometimes 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, then the child's love and affection towards mother becomes so intense. Do you agree with me?
Mm-hmm.
Particularly age 4, 3, 4, 5, the love towards the mother is so intense. Okay, tell me, what makes a child, what makes you, or what makes a child feel so much love and affection towards the mother when you were age 3, 4, 5? Why? Why did it happen? Day one it was not the case. But by the time you reach age 3, 4, 5, then you feel intense love and affection towards your mother. That when you can see the prospect of the mother leaving you for life, it is separated. The prospect of the separation from your mother for about 2, 3, 4, half a day, the child cannot, bear that feeling. The child will cry terribly, right? So why such? How come that there's such a love and affection built up? What made that child to have such a love and affection built up in that 2, 3 years time?
She's taking care of him and he realizes she's the source of his...
Wonderful. Because he or she realizes that this is the person from whom I'm getting the maximum benefit. All happiness that I want, I'm getting from this person. All the miseries I want to get rid of, this person helps me to get rid of the miseries, this person. Okay, so from this, what we learn is that love and affection is nothing but your mind feeling close to someone. This is known as the love and affection, feeling close. For your mind to feel close to someone, your mind should flow. You're getting it? Feeling close means your mind should move towards the person. Your mind should flow towards the person. When does your mind flow? From what we learn from this young child, how the child develops such a love and affection towards the mother, was when you see that that person is the source of benefit for me, then your mind flows. You getting it? So your mind flows towards that person from whom you receive the maximum benefit. Right? This is how our love and affection works. This is how the feeling of love and affection works. That your mind flows towards somebody from whom you get maximum love and affection. Your mind flows. The flow of the mind is known as the mind is becoming closer towards that person. The feeling close is known as love and affection. So love and affection arises on the basis of you feeling the benefit from the other side. You getting it? Okay. So the more you feel the benefit that you get from the other side, the more your mind will feel love and affection towards the other side. This is how our feeling of love and affection comes into being. So the whole purpose of this practice, Bodhicitta practice, is to feel the love and affection towards all sentient beings. Do you agree with me or not? Yes. Now from step 1 through to step 5, what we've learned is that cherishing yourself is the door to all suffering, and cherishing others is the door to all happiness. Door to all your happiness. With this feeling, then you feel step number 6, actual exchange of self and others. You make a very strong commitment that henceforth, knowing that self-centered attitude is a demon, it is what destroys me, I will never give in to self-centered attitude. I will never give in to self-centered attitude. I will never surrender to self-centered attitude. I will never give opportunity to the self-centered attitude that arises within me. Right? And knowing that other cherished mind is the one which gives me all the happiness, I will always cherish others. I will always cherish others. Make a very strong commitment at that point. Henceforth, I will exchange myself for others. How? Henceforth, if I were to cherish someone, instead of cherishing myself, I will exchange it and cherish others. This is the meaning of the actual exchange of self and others. If I were to be indifferent towards someone, instead of being indifferent towards others, I'll be indifferent towards the self. You getting it? This is how we make a very strong commitment. Okay. So after having made this commitment, when you go out in your daily life, again the self-cherishing will come. Don't worry. Right? Don't expect that you make this commitment and tomorrow self-centered attitude should go away. It will not happen like this. If it happens like this, by now everybody should be Buddha. This practice should become very easy. Right? It's difficult. Because it's difficult, it has to be done in stages, steps, endurance, and the consistency. Right? All these things are required. Okay, this is step number 6. What is step number 7? Special recollection of the kindness of others. Okay, tell me, what is from step 1 through to step 7, what is the main purpose of the practice from step 1 through to step 7?
What does it mean, special recollection of kindness?
Okay, this I'll explain. My question is, step 1 through to step 7, right? What's the main purpose for us to doing this practice from step 1 through to step 7? What's the main reason? What's the main purpose?
To crush the self-centered attitude.
To crush the self-centered attitude.
Love all sentient beings.
And Tamar, thank you. Right? Okay. So therefore, if we keep a 1 week gap, then finish. Right? If you want to give a gap of 1 week or then 1 month, then you did not teach us. Right? You will say, you do not teach. Step 1 through to step 7, what is 4? What is step 8? What for? What is step 9? What for? Right? We said it. Right? Step 1 through step 7, what's for? What Tamar said? Is mainly to build affection, love and affection towards all sentient beings. Right? Once you build the love and affection, then when you see the suffering nature of the sentient beings, number 2 is think of the suffering nature of sentient beings, the plight of sentient beings. Then number 3 is what? Number 3 is to take the responsibility. I will take the responsibility. Then number 4 is the goal by becoming a Buddha. Right? This is what we did. Did we do that or not?
Yeah.
I said 4 points, right? 4 points and these 7 steps, 9 steps. 4 points and the 9 steps. Don't forget these 4 points. Step 1 through to step 7 is point number 1, which is to build unconditional love towards all sentient beings equally. Right? Then step number 8 is the combination of
2 and 3.
2 and 3. Right? Step number 8. Then step number 9 is the goal, wishing to become Buddha. We're getting it? Okay. Now now step number 7. Finally, with the step number 7, this is very effective. You can do it. If you can do it properly, it's very effective practice to build love and affection towards all beings. Right? Okay. Imagine that. Tell me, which of the 2 places you like to be? Which of the 2 places you like to move? If I give you a choice, right? A place where some of the neighbors are kind to you, some of the neighbors very difficult, you don't like them. This is one area. This is another area where all the neighbors love you so much. Which of 2 places you like to move? First or second? Of course, the second one. Of course, you're getting it? Of course, the second one, right? If that is the case, what pushes others away from you? Self-centered attitude. What attracts others towards you are the cherished mind, right? So with this in mind, imagine that all the sentient beings around you. Okay, tell me, who are those people or the beings to whom you don't love? Tell me. Who are those people or those animals or those people? Let's say people. Who are those people who you don't love? Just tell me. People who want to hurt me. Anyone else?
People who don't love me.
People who don't love me.
People who hurt me in the past.
To people who hurt me in the past. Okay. So the point is that those people who hurt you, who do not love you, these people we call them as difficult people. Let us not say enemies. Enemies is a very strong word. Let's say difficult people. So now what we are trying to do is we are trying to practice love and affection towards all beings, right? And don't do like, we are not supposed to be doing like what I did when I had the first practice Bodhicitta, right? May I become Buddha for all sentient beings except for this person. Don't do like this, right? Okay, so we have to practice love and affection towards all. What do you mean by all? What do you mean all? How can I have love and affection, practice love and affection for this person, that person, this person? There are 7.6 billion human beings. And then the animals, innumerable animals, insects, innumerable. How can I practice compassion with each and every sentient being? Okay, to be very realistic, we can do it in a very easy way. How? We put all the beings into 3 categories. Those who love you, those who do not love, those who love you, and those who do not love you, the difficult people and the neutral people. Those who love you, and those difficult people, and the neutral people. Do you agree with me? That you cannot think of any person who does not fall under any of these 3 categories. You agree with me or not?
Yes.
Good. If you agree with me, then say to practice love and affection towards the near and dear ones is easy or difficult?
Easy.
That's very easy. Right? That's very easy. This is what almost the conventionally standard people, they do. It's not necessary you have to practice Bodhicitta, right? This is what they do. Okay. Now what is difficult is love and affection towards the neutral people and love and affection towards the difficult people. Right? These 2 are the very difficult ones. You getting it? Okay, now tell me. Now tell me. This is very important. If you are given a choice, if you are given a choice that, okay, that you will, say, okay, what we want? We want maximum happiness, if possible. If that is possible, then we want maximum happiness. Okay. And the maximum happiness, what we learn is that, for example, say, the maximum happiness is, what stops you from having the maximum happiness? This is the next question. You want maximum happiness, but you don't have the maximum happiness yet. What stops you from having the maximum happiness?
Self-cherishing.
Because the metal stains are there. The treasure of the maximum happiness within you, Buddhahood is within you. But it is obscured by the metal stains. What metal stains? Self-centered attitude, self-grasping ignorance. So these stop you from experiencing the maximum happiness. You getting it? Okay. So now, the ultimate source of happiness is where? Where is it? Inside you or outside? Inside us. But why this is what why you're not experiencing it yet? Because that is obscured by the mental defilements like self-centered attitude, self-grasping, and so forth. You getting it? If you get rid of the self-centered attitude completely, then you achieve the Buddhahood, the perfect happiness, where you wouldn't believe if we eat the animal food, right? Food meant for the dogs, food meant for the cats, and so forth, right? And say all the nutrients are already taken out, just the last remnants are left. So these they crush and make animal food for the horses, the cows, like this. So this, if you eat, do you feel it's going to be delicious? Not delicious. But when the Buddha eats it, the moment it touches with the Buddha's mouth, it becomes very delicious. So therefore, the point is, when you become a Buddha, anything that comes in contact with your senses, they become the divine, the feelings, right? So one example that I give you is that at one point, the whole place where the Buddha was residing, whole kingdom was going through drought. Drought? Huh? Drought? People have hardly anything to eat. Even the Buddha did not have anything to eat. So the Buddha's attendant, who was the Buddha's attendant? Ananda. Ananda was so worried. His job is to look for food, to give offer to the Buddha, but no food to give him. Right? He was going there, doing that. Finally, he met with, the merchant. And the merchant, he requested for some food, because merchant are rich people. So he requested food. He said, I don't have any food to offer. Right? But in those days, merchant means, they sell merchandise. They carry merchandise from one place to another place through the horses, through the mules, right? So he said, but I have no really food. I don't have any food, but I have the food for the donkeys. If you like, then I'll share some of them with you. Then Ananda accepted. He said, because what to do? Even for Buddha, he did not have any food to offer. So he took them and offered to the Buddha. And the Buddha ate. As the Buddha was eating the food for the mules, Ananda started to cry. And Buddha asked, Ananda, why are you crying? Then Ananda said, Venerable Sir, now it's such a degenerated time that even the enlightened one has to eat such a poor food. Then the Buddha said, Ananda, don't worry. Anything that comes in contact with my tongue and my teeth, it becomes a divine delicacy. If you don't believe, try this. Then he took out one grain from his mouth and gave it to Ananda. Ananda ate it, and it was just a divine delicacy which he never tasted before. Right? Okay, so the point is that we all have that capacity. We all have that capacity, but I think what made us not to experience that is because it is stopped by the self-centered attitude. You getting it? Okay. In fact, the time duration is very short. Otherwise, there are so many things that we have to listen to, on the basis of which you just feel like wanting to become a Buddha, right? Even for your own benefit. Okay. So then what happened? Then the point is that what made us not experience the ultimate happiness, right? If you think carefully, happiness. We eat food. The food serves as a stimulus, right? For example, let's say, when are you happy? Give me one example. Leon?
When I'm happy? Playing with my kids.
Oh, you're playing with the kids. So your kids serve as a stimulus, right? So when you're very tired, still you feel happy playing with the kids? No, you're paining,
No.
right? When you're not tired, you think that even when I'm tired, I can play. This is what you think. But when you're tired, and when you are, say, sick, the child, they have tremendous energy, right? Then you will feel pain. There's no fun there, right? So therefore, the fun, the happiness is coming not because of the child, right? The child serves as the stimulus. Because if the child happiness coming 100% from the child, whenever you meet the child, it should make you happy, right? Whenever the child touches you, you should be happy. And you have broken your legs, broken your arm, right? Child touches your arm, still you should be happy. But this is not happening. So which means it's just happiness is actually coming from somewhere else, not from the child. Child is a stimulus. So happiness is coming from, when the factors are there, it's coming from somewhere. That somewhere is known as Buddha nature. That somewhere is known as a Buddha nature. From inside you can feel it. You getting it? That is a Buddha nature. Okay. Anyone else? What other happiness do you have? Give me an example. Is it? No happiness. Oh.
I'm always happy.
Always happy, right?
Well, skiing.
Skiing. Okay, skiing. Anyone else?
Eating good food.
Eating good food. Any happiness? Skiing. Eating good food. Taking a shower.
Being in the sea.
Huh?
Being in the sea.
Being in the sea. Then, the Ari.
Huh?
Any happiness?
Yeah, sure. To walk on the mountain.
Oh, to walk. Adventure.
Yeah.
On the mountains. Wonderful. Gilala.
It might sound a bit
Strange?
strange, but really I'm sure everybody will do. When we get out of our self-center and we do good for others, it makes us feel good.
That's very true. When you say that, when you do a little bit for others, you feel good.
Yeah.
This is very good example. Okay, let's say skiing. Again, skiing when you're sick, right? When you're sick,
You can.
then your brother says, "Hey, is it you like skiing? We'll go to skiing." You say, "No, it's your favorite. I'll take you there," right? No. Then you become angry, right? You become not angry, frustrated, disappointed, right? So therefore, skiing per se, the moment the skiing happens, happiness is not coming, right? It should wait for a particular situation, not at all situation. So, at a particular situation it arises, skiing per se is not the one. If the skiing per se is the happiness, then whenever you meet with skiing, there should be happiness, but it's not happening. It comes only sometimes. So when is that happening? It's coming from where? Not from the skiing, coming from somewhere. That somewhere is known as the Buddha nature. Likewise, adventure. Likewise, being in the sea. Likewise, taking shower. Right? So all this happiness is coming from inside. You getting it? Okay. Now from this what we learn is that happiness is actually inside. It's inside. It's not really the objects. Objects, they serve as a stimulus. They serve as a trigger. The real happiness is coming from somewhere. That somewhere is known as the Buddha nature. You getting it? And then say you let go of your own self-centered attitude and you serve the community a little bit. Even you contribute a little bit, there's a feeling of joy coming. Again, that's coming from the inside, somewhere inside, right? So for example, say, okay, so that is inside, and if what is inside, if it comes out fully, right? You can reach to a stage whereby that any external factors can create the same happiness. You can reach to that level, right? So why it is not happening? Why we have to wait for only some situation? Is because it is blocked by the self-centered attitude. So ultimate happiness, infinite happiness, the source is actually inside. It is obscured by the self-centered attitude. Okay, don't forget this. Ultimate, what we are seeking is ultimate happiness. This ultimate happiness, you don't have to look for it from outside. It's inside us. But why we have not experienced this is because it is stopped by the self-centered attitude. Although it is stopped, it cannot eradicate it. It becomes dominant. It becomes dominant. You're getting it? Now, if you want ultimate happiness, what should you do? Get rid of self-centered attitude. And how long does it take to get rid of self-centered attitude? Long time. You're getting it? Let's say it takes us say like 40 years. Let's say. Of course it will take more years, more lifetimes. Let's say it takes us 40 years. So till 40 years you still have the Buddha nature inside, doesn't come out for 40 years. Right? After 40 years it may come out, let's say. Till 40 years, although you're struggling, this process is what? This 40 years is a process of struggling to get into the self-centered attitude. Process of struggling means it is still there. It's still there means that while you are so Buddha nature, the Buddha nature inside us is so brilliant, incredible, great treasure, but this is not visible. When it is not visible, right? When it's not visible, then what happens? That say, when health declines, what happens? We become vulnerable. What do you mean by vulnerable? We become dependent on others. When your health goes down, you become more dependent on others. Yes, no?
Yes.
Likewise, when this Buddha nature is obscured, we become more dependent on others. We are not independent. When the Buddha nature comes out fully, you are totally independent. You don't have to depend on any other factors. Your happiness is 100% infinite, guaranteed. But when that is obscured by the self-centered attitude, this happiness is not coming out. When this is not coming out, but you want happiness, yes? You want happiness, but it's not coming out. So you have to depend on other factors. Right? Depend on other factors. Okay. Now, happiness that you seek is twofold. One is the ultimate happiness after 40 years. Right? Let's say if in 40 years you become Buddha, then 40 years you get the ultimate happiness. Before that, you still want happiness or you don't want happiness. Before that, you also want happiness. So what kind of happiness? Not the ultimate happiness. You cannot have the ultimate happiness before that. Before that, what kind of happiness? Conventional happiness like no hunger, no cold, no heat, right? Then what else?
Good food.
Good food,
Good place.
right? No hunger, I said it already.
Friends.
Huh?
Friends.
Friends, so you don't want to be lonely.
House.
You don't want hunger, you don't want the rain, you don't want the heat, you want a house. Okay, so which means that we say we want, in the process, there are two kinds of happiness which we are seeking. One is the ultimate happiness. That will happen only after 40 years. Before that, you still want happiness. Before that, you still are going through suffering. So, right? Before that, what made you to suffer? What made you not to have the happiness? Because of this self-centered attitude. You're getting it? Okay. So before that, the happiness that you are seeking there